heated, and while Cole and Diddy eventually squashed the issue, it was a clear sign that Cole still had respect for Kendrick, even after the public.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. I can't. Every time I see these motherfuckers, what a Diddy bar, a Diddy line, drinking Diddy's alcohol with Diddy, I'm like, they didn't know. They just did not know.
Right. What's good, y'all? So in this video, I'm going to be reacting to why Kendrick Lamar never respected J. Cole. This is by Hip Hop Madness. I just had to make sure. Sorry. Very interested in this because I'm pretty sure that in the beginning of their careers, they were pretty, I'm not going to say close, like they were the bestest of friends, but it seemed like they were close work friends, if like that makes sense. By the way, I'm getting my hair done. Don't say it. I wish y'all would say some anti-natural hair stuff. Anywho, um, but yeah, I feel like they were like close work friends or whatever. It seemed like, they did the little collaboration on Black Friday. They had some other ones with Forbidden Fruit. There was a song that Jeezy had, I think, called The American Dream, and they both had verses on that. But initially, I found out afterwards that I don't think they either one knew that they were being featured. The other was being featured. Um, which put things into perspective, because I was like, if they knew, would they have gone like harder? Would they have done stuff different? Who knows? But they've come out for each other's tours, just like the regular stuff. It seems like J. Cole congratulated Kendrick a lot of the time or whatever, but there has started to at some point seemed like, between, it seemed like J. Cole was always friends with Drake and cool with Kendrick, so he was like the glue almost. But it seemed like at one point, I feel like Cole started not throwing shots, but doing the like I'm the best, and I don't know, maybe that didn't sit well. Oh, it can't. I don't know, but it just seemed like something went like a tiny bit left, you know, um, during last year's beef. Can you believe that it's been a year since like that? That shook up the whole thing. It was crazy. I was going through a really difficult, bro. Like I said, could make a Lifetime movie out of me.
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are undeniably two of the most influential and celebrated rappers of this generation. On the surface, there's always been mutual respect, with Cole never hesitating to praise Kendrick, often calling him one of the greatest. But Kendrick, well, that's a different story. In fact, his actions and even his lyrics suggest otherwise. From subtle jabs in his verses to being the rumored reason their long-awaited collab album never materialized, Kendrick consistently refused to acknowledge Cole as an equal, leaving an unspoken tension lingering for years. But why? What makes Kendrick's stance on Cole so different from how Cole sees Kendrick? Well, to understand that, we need to rewind the clock and trace their journeys from the beginning. So sit back and join us on this journey. This is going to be an interesting one. Let's start with Kendrick's upbringing. Kendrick's parents grew up near Chicago's notorious O Block, with his father being a member of the Gangster Disciples. But his mother refused to let that life dictate their future, so she gave him an ultimatum: her or the streets. Luckily for her, he chose her, and they left Chicago behind, relocating to California in search of something better. Unfortunately, they landed in one of the most dangerous areas in America, and thus, Kendrick Lamar Duckworth was born on June 7, 1987 in Compton, California. Named after Eddie Kendricks of The Temptations, music was always in the background of his life, but so was gang culture. His father still had street ties, and growing up in Compton shaped his perspective from an early age. From the age of 5, Kendrick was already being exposed to gang culture, but his parents—
By the way, I have a video that like goes through, I guess, like it says Kendrick's violent past or whatever. It goes more into detail. Very, very, very good video. Even if you just like click on the video because you want to see the original video, cool, whatever. But it just like it kind of combated the idea that like Drake was saying that Kendrick was faking being from— know what the fuck he was talking about. To be real, when I think about it, I'm like, boy, what? But it goes into detail into a lot of different things, a lot of Kendrick's experiences, and stuff that he doesn't idolize. And I feel like that's probably where the sentiment came from, is that he's not in his raps idolizing stuff that he had to do because that's how he grew up. Instead, he's trying to shift that perspective, and he still be having like some, it is what it is. We gotta run them mofos block or something like that. But for the most part, it's like uplifting, and I feel like people have misinterpreted that. So, if you were interested in like the details in that, it seems like he's gonna go into it a little bit in here, but it's like something like Kendrick Lamar's violent past, and I reacted to it like last year. So, and the link is in the description of my video. So.
Extremely supportive of him. They emphasized education, and compared to his friends, Kendrick always had two parental figures in his life guiding the way for him.
It's a Compton thing. It's a gangster Compton thing.
Kendrick even recalled the first time he saw someone die, saying, "It was outside my apartment unit. A guy was out there serving his narcotics and somebody rolled up with a shotgun and blew his chest out." Admittedly,
with a shotgun is insane. Like, that's the first time. I'm not saying like if it was with something else, like it's easier, but just that is.
did something to me right then. It let me know that this is not only something that I'm looking at, but it's something that maybe I have to get used to. This dramatically changed him, stripping away his innocence from a young age, and as he gradually came to terms with the harsh realities of his life, a glimmer of hope emerged right on his front door. In 1995, at just 8 years old, he witnessed Dr. Dre and Tupac filming the California Love music video in his neighborhood, which ignited something within him. Despite being quiet and reserved, Kendrick was hyper-observant, absorbing everything around him. His mother saw his potential early and encouraged him to write poetry as a way to express himself. Those poems eventually evolved into rap lyrics, and this is where he adopted the name K-Dot. As the story goes, one night K-Dot was out with his best friend Lil L, a guy who had been in and out of jail, still caught up in the streets. Kendrick tried to convince him to come to the studio to see another path, but L refused. Then, a few hours later, he was arrested again, this time facing serious prison time. That moment changed something in Kendrick, and the hunger for rap became undeniable, not just as an escape, but as a way to make sense of everything around him. He knew the streets led to nothing but dead ends, so from then on, he made it his mission not to glorify the violence, but to expose the cycles that kept Compton trapped in a world.
Y'all hear what I be saying? I be saying something about me and the crystal ball. Listen, I just said this. I just said that. And what's interesting about Little L, and I'm pretty sure either it's Little L or it's a different homie. I'm pretty sure it's him. That now Kendrick is either funding his him going to college to get like his business degree so he can do some type of executive position in PG Lang. And I just think that's so dope. Like I said, positivity, positive reinforcements. You don't have to have the perfect upbringing or anything. But it's just about having the right people around you to like, push you in the positive direction, and to support you.
From Compton, I could have easily came out and said, I did this, I did that, just giving off fact where I'm from. That ain't me. I'd rather talk about my reality. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk about something a little bit more deeper than that. The reasons and the problem and the solutions behind it.
Kendrick realized that if he wanted to tell Compton's story, the real story, music was the only way to do it. But to make sure the message reached as many ears as possible, he had to be undeniable. He had to be the best. That became his mission. From that point on, his hunger was relentless and his focus unshakable. It wasn't just about making music, it was about cementing himself at the top so he could be the one to make change in his community. Fueled by the realities of Compton's struggles, he dropped his first mixtape, Youngest Head in Charge, in 2003. The project started to make waves locally, eventually leading to a deal with Def Jam Records under Rick Rubin. At just 17 years old, Kendrick found himself in a meeting with Jay-Z, an experience that left a lasting impression.
I never knew
I don't
this.
think even Jay remembered that. This is when I first turned 17, and I remember coming out for a meeting and I was too excited. All I remember was Jay walking in the room and saying, "Yo, what's up?" and walked back to the elevator. And we was like, damn, that's Jay. So he doubles back, goes back to his office next door, and he's playing my music. He put me in the studio, and that was just one of those situations where I wasn't ready. While Kendrick's time at Def Jam was short-lived, the industry had already taken notice. Within a year, Manny Smith and DJ Mormile, two of the most respected A&Rs, recognized his potential and put him on the radar of Top Dog Entertainment's Punch. By 2005, at just 18 years old, Kendrick signed with TDE, setting the stage for his rise as one of the most innovative storytellers in hip-hop. His lyrics were sharper, his vision more refined, and he was already outpacing his peers in depth and substance. He then released his last.
I just reacted to Heaven and Hell, which was a requested reaction, And in the like after I listened to it, I was just like, he just seemed so like light years ahead of people that would be his age at the time. Like a 20-year-old rapping the way he was rapping on that song, or 20 early 20s rapping the way he was rapping, just crazy. Like different level.
Project is K-Dot called C4 in 2009. As Kendrick matured, he realized that K-Dot no longer represented who he was. He dropped the moniker and started rapping under his real name. J. Cole, on the other hand, had a very different upbringing, and this would affect his career down the line. Jermaine Cole was born on January 28, 1985 in Frankfurt, Germany, where his father was stationed in the military. However, after his parents separated, his father left his life and Cole was raised in Fayetteville.
Cole, you looking low. You looking low. Ooh-wee. You looking good right here.
As a kid, he played basketball, took up the violin, and developed a deep love for music. By the age of 12, Cole had already started rapping, drawing inspiration from legends like Jay-Z and Nas. He focused on sharpening his wordplay and experimented with different rap names, including Blazer and The Therapist.
He still got the same mannerisms. He still do all that. But he's real tall anyway, so this long ass T, big T, look crazy.
Ultimately settling on J. Cole. From there, he found a group called Bomb Shelter who took him in and allowed him to record music, while his mother would drive him to and from sessions. Recognizing his passion, she splashed out on a $1,300 ASRX drum machine, giving him the tools to start making his own beats. In exchange, Cole had to pay for his own clothes and basketball camps for the following year. After high school, he pursued a degree in computer science at St. John's University before switching to communications. But life at home was crumbling. His stepfather stopped paying the mortgage and his mother struggled with drug addiction. Meanwhile, Cole was trying to break into the East Coast rap scene.
What kind of degree you get with communication? Like, I don't know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to be like a journalist or something? We had to take communications classes in college. So, but the one I picked was journalism. So I just assumed, like, for some reason I was just like, is this just what communications is? Like, what do y'all do with that? And I just want to know, okay? And obviously, I know there's a bunch of different avenues. I'm actually asking a question because mofos will be like, oh, she thinks she's funny. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying?
Icons and networking with anyone who could help him get a foot in the door, wearing his notorious Produced for Jay-Z or Die Tryin' t-shirt. And to his surprise, Cole finally got a shot. After waiting outside the studio for hours, he managed to hand-deliver a CD to Jay-Z, but Hov barely glanced at it before shutting him down with a cold,
"Damn,
I don't want that." For Cole, it was a gut punch. He'd left North Carolina, gone to college in New York, and positioned himself in the city just to chase this exact opportunity, only for Jay-Z to completely dismiss him. In 2007, he launched Dreamville Records and dropped his debut mixtape, The Come Up. Struggling to make ends meet, he fell behind on rent, but famously, his landlord believed in his vision and let him stay for free. His persistence paid off. Cole's raw talent and relentless grind caught the attention of Jay-Z once again, only this time, Jay personally signed him to Roc Nation in 2009 as the label's first signee. With that backing, his career took off. By 2010, he landed the coveted XXL freshman cover and was one of the most—
Let's analyze. Okay, who was in this?
Nipsey, who is you? J. Cole, Pill. Who's Pill? I don't know him. Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man. Okay, Freddie Gibbs. Big Sean. Is that Big Sean? Why his face look like that? J Rock. Fashawn. Donis. Who is y'all? I know J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juice Man, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, J Rock.
If you compare it to today's XXL, like, what in the hell?
What is the point of telling both men's backstories? Well, unlike Kendrick, J. Cole wasn't rapping to escape life or death circumstances. His struggle wasn't about survival, it was about proving himself. He wasn't trying to outrun the streets, he was trying to avoid a life of routine where a 9-to-5 would dictate his future. And this will all come into play later on in the video. In fact, this difference in mentality was perfectly captured in his interview with Nardwuar, where he downplayed the weight of it all, saying,
"Why should people care about J. Cole? Why should people care?"
They don't have to care about me. They should. I'm not gonna say they should. If you do, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? If you like the music, that's what matters. But you know, I live a real life outside of this. You know what I mean? I do real things in real life. You don't have to care. And it's not that, none of this is that serious, me or otherwise. You don't have to care about me.
By the time Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole first crossed paths, their journeys in rap couldn't have been more different.
I feel the same sentiment. You feel me? I mean, obviously 2 different levels, but like, I'm always like, like when somebody is so angry at me for something I said, I'm always like in my head, like, from your perspective, like, who am I? Like, why does it matter? Like, if we're really getting into it, um, I think it's okay to like check me if I say something ignorant, check me, please. I don't want to be a bad person. But when people are like if my opinion, I don't know, like Kendrick Lamar is my favorite rapper. Muffles will be so angry. And I'm just like, why do you care for real? Like, who am I really? Like, what effect does that have on your life?
Filled with rising stars like Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, Big Sean, J. Cole, and J-Rock. Since J-Rock was signed to TDE, Kendrick tagged along to the shoot, even though he hadn't made the cover himself. Kendrick later reflected on that moment in The Heart Part 1, rapping,
I need to
was at the
listen to that.
XXL just trying to excel. Networking, meanwhile my stomach turning. Wanted to be a part of it, cater it to my audience. J. Cole running late. If you don't show up, I think I could take its place. Lady started laughing, no pun intended. I ain't being sarcastic. This is where things get interesting, because according to longtime rap journalist Rob Markman, who was a XXL editor at the time, he confirmed that Kendrick wasn't just joking, he was dead serious. Even before Kendrick and Cole had officially met, Kendrick was already gunning for a spot, literally. He had so much confidence in himself that he was ready to step into Cole's place right then and there. That kind of competitive drive was admirable, but it also signals something bigger. Kendrick saw Cole as a rival before they had even spoken. But first, after years of making YouTube videos, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to create.
I bet it is. You're not gonna trick me, buddy.
Cole and Kendrick found themselves in the same space once again, only this time, it was at a release party for Inglewood rap duo's UNI album, A Love Supreme 2.0. It was here that Kendrick took the mic and delivered an insane freestyle, rapping a cappella for 3 straight minutes.
See, I'm the author of the author, the father of the Austin Power Fortune, who can bust like a charter ride partner. I know a jealous serpent is a burden to my life, but still I carry on like luggage in a flight.
Kendrick's performance left an impression on everyone in the room, including Cole. And that same night, Cole performed 2 of his biggest songs, Headbuster and A Star Is Born, the latter being a collaboration with Jay-Z. In the background, you can see a young Kendrick Lamar rapping along to every single word of Jay-Z and J. Cole's A Star Is Born.
See, this make me feel good, you feel me? Because growing up, since I was 13, my favorite rapper, I know if you watch like all my videos, y'all are sick of me saying it, but I'm gonna reiterate. For the newbies, favorite rapper is Kendrick Lamar. Second favorite rapper though was always J. Cole. It was them neck and neck. If one of them had a show, I was going. Type like one of them had an album, I was listening. Okay, but it was like a slight edge. It was like, to me, Cole was an A- and Kendrick was an A+. Like, it was just that little bit that just pushed Kendrick up for me personally.
Early stage, their paths were beginning to intertwine, drawing unconscious comparisons between the two. Cole had a laid-back, introspective style, while Kendrick's music was intense and extremely reflective, both conscious, but coming from different angles. That night, Kendrick wasted no time in making a move. He emailed Cole 2 songs, P and Patron and Cut You Off, both of which immediately caught Cole's attention. In a later interview, Cole revealed, later that night, Kendrick emailed me 2 songs. I was like, yo, I'm messing with this guy. I need to sign this guy. From there, I felt compelled to always give him any jewels I could. He even helped put Dr. Dre on him. However, by the time Cole made his offer, Kendrick was already locked in with TDE. Still, that didn't stop Cole from supporting him. As both a rapper and producer, Cole started sending Kendrick beats, helping him refine his sound. Considering Cole already had been signed personally by Jay-Z and got numerous cosigns in the industry, this was a big look for Kendrick. Over the next few years, their bonds grew stronger, first as collaborators, then as friends. But that competitive edge that fueled their first meeting never really faded.
Just wrapped up some studio. We got some coming secretly. J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar.
Secretly,
yeah, all on this blank dish right here. Oh.
Wait, you got 2 just in case?
Nah, this is my.
Oh, okay.
This is, you know what that is.
Top secret.
As their collaborations continued, rumors of a full-length joint project between Cole and Kendrick started gaining traction. The first real hint came in 2010 when Kendrick mentioned it in an interview with Hard Knock TV. During the interview, he even played a J. Cole-produced track, which was his first time publicly acknowledging the project. At this point, Kendrick was clearly on good terms with Cole, referencing how much they were working together. Then in 2011, during the rollout for Section 80, Kendrick further fueled speculation by playing a never-before-heard track featuring a J. Cole verse. The song, Temptations, was the first of many unreleased tracks that would keep fans convinced this collab project was real. Shortly after, Kendrick doubled down in a XXL interview, confirming that the project was not just an idea, but was actively in the works. By 2012, both Kendrick and Cole were openly confirming that the album was happening. And in May of that year, Cole sat down with Bootleg Kev and revealed that the project was not just a mixtape, it was a full album. Later that same year, Cole gave another interview that took a slightly different tone. While still hyping up the project, he also hinted at the competitive nature of their relationship. He specifically referenced Temptations, admitting that after hearing Kendrick's verse, he felt like he had to rewrite his own.
And another one I got is this song we got now called Temptations.
I heard
when
it.
I gave him the beat,
I think
it already had my verse on it. I was just like, yo, I got this crazy beat with a ill verse on it, you know what I'm saying? Just do with it. Yo, when I tell you, you should never give it like Kendrick Lamar home court advantage. That was the first one first verse anybody ever spit on my song. And I was like, you little like, don't make me, I wanted to change my verse.
At this stage, there was no direct tension. Cole wasn't worried about Kendrick dissing him, but he was definitely feeling the pressure. Getting outshined on your own song is not a great feeling, and the fact that Cole even considered rewriting his verse speaks volumes. What this moment reveals is that Kendrick's competitive drive was already in full effect. No matter how friendly they were, he was focused on proving he was the best, and this underlying tension would only grow over time.
No offense, like I love you, Kendrick, but thank God you switched your style up. I'm gonna just say, who is Mr. DJ? I like you. Whatever.
Started as a friendly rivalry, one that sharpened both of their pens, would slowly evolve into something more complicated. And the collaborative album, which fans have been anticipating for years, would never materialize. Now, if you let some fans tell it, this was due to Kendrick shifting priorities as an artist. After all, if he was willing to forego a collaborative project with his own label mates in the form of a Black Hippie album, then turning down Cole wouldn't exactly be out the picture. However, according to Cole, it was their respective schedules that prevented them from ever seeing it through. As time went on, the quiet but undeniable friction between J. Cole and Kendrick would start to grow, and a major turning point in the relationship would happen in 2013.
Oh my God, this song. It felt like that felt like a this point two. Like a control point two. 2.0. Part 2. Whatever. I actually had J. Cole's response on my phone. Because it was on TKO, Justin Timberlake song. They just remixed it with him, Meek, I think, and A$AP Rocky, I think, with the 3.
Hip-hop has always been built on competition. MCs have been battling each other since the genre's inception. So naturally, when two lyrical rappers from opposite coasts start gaining traction around the same time, comparisons were bound to happen. But after Temptations, the tension between J. Cole and Kendrick started to feel more real. That all came to a head in 2013, when Kendrick dropped what would become one of the most infamous verses in modern hip-hop history on Big Sean's Control. I'm usually homeboys with the same guys I'm rhyming with, but this is hip-hop and these guys should know what time it is.
And that goes for Jermaine Cole, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mills, A$AP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, Jay Electron, Tyler Mac Miller. I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your co-fan never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear not one more noun from verb from you niggas. But it's competition. I'm trying to raise the bar high. Who's trying to jump and get it? Y'all better off trying to y'all better off trying to skydive at an exit window with 5G5 with $5 with your granddad is a pilot. He's trying to land with a handful of arthritis and popping prosthetic leg, bumping Pac in the cockpit so the shit that pops in his head is an option of violence. Someone heard it. Stewardess said that your latex condom is a parachute. Wait, a parachute is a latex condom hooked to a dread.
And also had a reaction to the verse, but instead of airing it out in an interview, he went straight to Kendrick. He called him up, wanting to know where they stood after Kendrick had talked about a joint album just the year before.
I'm gonna say this.
Did you feel a kind of way?
I didn't even really hear the line.
Right.
I heard the loudness of the people.
Right.
The hype. Ooh. I had to have a conversation with him. You know what I mean?
What was the conversation, man?
It was just, not even a doubt in the details. I just had to find out for myself. Like, yo, what?
You came at me, dog?
What's that? Please tell me what is that? I got to know. And when I got the answer, and then went back and heard the verse, like months later, I had to really check myself like, wow.
What was the answer?
The last person I thought would even feel away is you. You know what I mean? Like.
Right.
Cole was genuinely surprised. The two had been talking about collaborating for years at this point, but when they spoke, Kendrick reassured him that it was just rap, nothing personal. And instead of being...
when we look at the lyrics, he literally says, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. I get it as a homie, like being like, what the fuck? Like, why are you putting me in this shit, bro? But like as it's a coworker. You feel me? Like it's like sometimes we just cool at work, bitch.
Cole took it as motivation. That same year, J. Cole proved his loyalty when he defended Kendrick at a party after the verse drop. Diddy, who was reportedly offended by Kendrick claiming that he was the king in New York, tried to pour a drink on Kendrick's head, only for Cole to step in. Things got heated, and while Cole and Diddy eventually squashed the issue, it was a clear sign that Cole still had respect for Kendrick, even after the public.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know. I can't. Every time I see these mofos, whether Diddy bar, a Diddy line, drinking Diddy's alcohol, with Diddy, I'm like, they didn't know. They just did not know. This long hair J. Cole, you sure you didn't know?
But the energy wasn't mutual. While Cole still saw Kendrick as a friend, Kendrick was moving differently. The dynamic between them had officially shifted. What had once been a healthy...
If you try to fight a mob boss for me, you're locked in for life, okay? You never going anywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So, I don't know. No, you know what? J. Cole just seemed like a chill guy. Like he really just seems like one of them, like just like a really cool guy. And Kendrick just like gives me like he might be in the bathroom peeking at me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he give like, but he seemed like a chill guy too. It's just different. It's like he not really fucking with your ass though until he cool with you. He might be peeking, like, peeking around the corner. Once you get to know him, he cool. That's what it gives.
Competitive friendship quietly turned into something else, a secret war between two of the biggest rappers in the world. And for nearly 9 years, that war would remain hidden beneath the surface. J. Cole had finally grasped the competitive nature of his relationship with Kendrick Lamar, and he was ready to fire back. His response came on the remix of Justin Timberlake's TKO, where he wasted no time.
Who'd I say? Meek Mill? Oh, Meek Mill had Push or Chuck. He said, "My gun go, your gun go do 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 do. My gun go blah 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 blah," or whatever the fuck you talking about. I don't remember what that song was called, but
Control verse head on. That long verse from a song called Control was on. The room got nearer. The tune got clear. That was when I seen that ish playing on your phone. Girl, what is that? A ringtone? Damn, not you too. Man, that hype done got you too. Everybody and their mama gassed. Even my mama asked what I'ma do. Decisions. In case this is war, then I load up on
all ammunition. If a nigga want problems, my triggers on auto, I'll make sure that nobody miss them. Oh, these niggas is fire. These niggas is fire. You feel me? It was really upsetting initially when 7 Minute Drill came out because, of course, like I said, I got Kendrick a little bit higher. I love their catalogs. I love their catalogs, but Kendrick's music has spoken to me more. I resonated a little bit more. So I was like, oh, damn, Cole. I'm Team Kendrick. It hurt. It hurt. It hurt. It feel like when your parents are fighting. Nah, never mind. I can't use that. But it's like you got two friends and they fighting and you're just like, oh, I hate to see it. I hate to see it. It hurt.
Ammunition. If that guy wants problems, my trigger's on auto. I'll make sure that nobody misses him. Cole made it clear. He felt blindsided by Kendrick's verse, and he wasn't amused by the way Control had been hyped up to legendary status. He downplayed its impact, calling it overblown and criticizing the industry's obsession with the moment. Then he sent a direct message. If Kendrick wanted war, he was ready to take him out completely. Despite the tension, the two still maintained a front of mutual respect, releasing their Black Friday tracks in 2015 where they rapped over each other's beats. Cole rapped over All Right, and Kendrick took Tale of Two Cities. With this, fans still clung to the hope that their long-rumored joint project was happening. But beneath the surface, the competitive friction between them was becoming more apparent. Fans started comparing the two MCs, saying Kendrick smoked Cole with his rendition of Cole's song on Reddit.
And he did. I'm sorry. I love you, Cole, but he killed you. He ate you up on Black Friday. Ate. Devoured. You feel me? I feel like y'all was taking two verses, and I love Tale of Two Cities, but y'all taking two beats, and I feel like this is the same thing with samples. You have to make it your own. I forgot that was Tale of Two Cities by the middle of Kendrick's verse. Like he made it his own. You took All Right. That was a very bold choice for one, to be honest. and it didn't like, it was like you taking such like a legendary song to me, and I don't feel like he gave it. I think his verse was good for sure, um, and great for many mediocre artists if they had done it. But all right, that was big shoes to fill. And I feel like even if the verse was good, it still I was like, oh, this is all right. Like this is the song all right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Both rappers continued to coexist at the top. Kendrick
good.
began to pull ahead in the public eye. J. Cole had 2014 Forest Hills Drive, but Kendrick's
Great
To Pimp a
album.
Butterfly was a cultural moment, sweeping award shows and cementing his reputation as hip-hop's leading lyricist. Kendrick dominated the BET Awards.
It was just
winning
like
Best
I think it was yeah, like the impact was different. 2014 Forest Hill Drives is crazy. Like let's just be real. Like he I'm trying to think if I feel like that's his best album. Because Born Center was great too. But yeah, I would say that's his best album to me. I went to the KOD concert. I think it made me gain more appreciation for the album. I like the album initially anyway, but the concert just added to it. Um yeah, but yeah, I feel like it was the impact on the culture, and they both did things, but I feel like Kendrick felt like a movement, like the Malcolm X. You feel me? The radical, the not scared to say what he feel, not scared to do anything, not scared to make moments and press whoever he got to press. It just gave that more aggressive, and I think J. Cole's music was real relatable, but it won't like this.
Artist, Best Male Hip Hop Artist, Best Collaboration and
Come on.
Lyricist of the Year, and Album of the Year, among others. Then came the MTV Hottest MCs list, one of the most influential rap rankings at the time. Kendrick took number 1, while Cole wasn't even mentioned.
Damn.
By 2017, the gap widened even further. Kendrick released Damn, winning multiple Grammys and more notably a Pulitzer Prize, an achievement unheard of in rap. Meanwhile, Cole had
I was about to tweak. I thought it was Donald Trump. I was like, but he know better.
consistently snubbed at the Grammys, not winning his first until years later. The conversation was shifting fast. Kendrick was being labeled as the best lyricist of the era, while
Yes,
Cole,
Kendrick.
despite his success,
Now
was
Kendrick
often
was
seen
good.
as second tier in comparison. Then, Kendrick disappeared. After Damn, he largely withdrew from the spotlight, reappearing only to curate the Black Panther soundtrack and support his cousin and protege Baby Keem on tracks like Range Brothers and Family Ties.
Yeah,
While Kendrick
Range
was
Brothers is ass. I'm sorry. I have a reaction to that on my page whenever it came out 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago, whoever. I have a reaction, and it was a very honest reaction. I'm not about to sit up here. Mofos might think I get extra or whatever. That is genuine emotion coming out of me. I'm never gonna sit here and gas up some ass shit. Top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the morning. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm always a fan of like Kendrick's like other voices and personalities and shit and all the mentions in the song, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. It just sounded like a feel good song, but like it didn't give me like the Hillbillies. Like that's a feel good song, kind of doesn't take itself too seriously. Um but that's something I could bop. The Range Brothers, like I was like,
Cole stepped up, filling the void with a relentless run of music. It's
Yes,
from here
he
that Cole's
ate.
business acumen was also starting to shine. His label, Dreamville, was growing, signing talents like J.I.D., Boz, and Earth Gang. He launched Dreamville Fest in 2018, drawing over 100,000 attendees and proving that he could operate beyond just his music. While Kendrick was stacking awards, Cole was building an empire by quietly positioning himself as a label boss, businessman, and artistic leader. But despite his success, the comparisons to Kendrick never faded. Between 2018 and 2019, Cole dominated the feature game, appearing on tracks with Boz on Tribe, 21 Savage on A Lot, and J.I.D. on Off D's, among many others. With 28 features in just 2 years, fans started calling him one of the best guest verse artists of the era, elevating nearly every song he touched. By 2020, Cole laid out his career roadmap, revealing his plan for his final releases. He would finish his feature.
Maybe It's a Boy was might delete later or some shit. I don't fucking know. Are we getting that still? What is it?
release The Off Season, follow it with It's a Boy, and eventually drop his long-rumored album, The Fall Off. But as his career progressed, he also started sending subliminal shots at Kendrick and subtly addressing the constant comparisons. One of the clearest examples came on Heaven's EP, where he openly acknowledged being ranked below Kendrick and Drake, but then challenged that perception. Some people say that I'm running third. They threw the bronze at me, behind Drake and Dot. Yeah, them guys is superstars to me. But then he flipped it. The tale's official, the best guy's breathing. I just failed to hit you. You couldn't tell because you fell for the bells and whistles.
No, I didn't even peep that. I'm not gonna lie, I reacted to this as well. Any music within like the last like 4 years, it's probably a reaction. You feel me? To be honest. But I remember hearing that first line and being like, bro, you feel me? Like, get some confidence. But I didn't even peep that this is where he flipped it. That's crazy. You know, Drake would always get in his feelings anytime Kendrick said anything. So when it was Cole, did he give a fuck? If not, then what? He just didn't like Kendrick. Period. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? But
here, Cole suggests that hype, marketing, and theatrics, things that Kendrick and Drake excel at, are the only reasons people still rank him below them. He believes that if rap were judged purely on skill, he would be at the top.
Yeah,
then in 2022, Kendrick returned with
I'm so sorry. Kendrick still got you beat, buddy. You better than Drake, but Kendrick, you versus Kendrick, a different conversation.
And the Big Stepper, and allegedly took a shot at Cole. On Count Me Out, Kendrick rapped, "Ain't nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off." Fans speculate that the fall off was a reference to Cole's upcoming final project, implying that Kendrick was waiting for Cole to disappear from relevance. Cole fired back on Johnny P's Caddy with Benny the Butcher, and delivered one of the
he ate. I ain't gonna lie, he ate. You ate.
Claims yet, spitting, "I put your favorite rapper neck in a noose, never letting them loose. Cold world,
Okay,
that
yeah,
heat'll
that's
blast
not-
through your speaker."
yeah,
And then, on God, the best rapper alive. Headshot, now go and ask the best rappers that died. They'll tell you he never lied. Cole was staking his claim. Not only was he the best alive, but even the greatest dead rappers would vouch for him. Fans immediately speculated that this was a direct shot at Kendrick, since Best Rapper Alive is a title Kendrick has claimed multiple times. Then, just months later, Cole doubled down. On The Secret Recipe with Lil Yachty, he rapped, "People fake progressive and woke. I started saying less. I had to stop it. Peeped how they profit off the racial stress. Some activists got so rich, they probably wish we stayed oppressed."
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he was talking about Kendrick here. What? Like, my thing is, I just got a question for anybody who has a sentiment. What do y'all mean? Are you saying because he's making money from the songs that he's highlighting issues in that he's not, it's fake? Like, he's bringing awareness to the issues. He can't. What else is he supposed to do? He's talking about it. He's formulating conversations. He's engaging. He's giving back. There's proof. There's proof. He's like, I don't know what this. Oh, you're a fake activist. Fake how? Why? What? I'm so confused. And then people say, well, because apparently he's had, I guess, relations with white women, or whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, I'm not gonna justify or whatever cheating at all, ever. Like, that's weird as fuck. But Childish Gambino was married to a white woman and made This Is America. I don't know. I feel like we have to go into like the details of like why you're dating outside of your race. If you just fell in love with somebody and that is what it is, okay. Um, there's no stopping that. I don't care. But if you're like, oh, I can't date this group of people because if you start doing all that and then that's why you're dating outside of your community, then it's like, okay, that's problematic for sure. But I don't know that that diminishes anything that your opinions about social issues. That's what's crazy is in Family Ties, Kendrick on his second verse, I believe, or first verse or whatever, he says, "Endemic, I've been ducking the social gimmicks, I've been ducking the overnight activists, yeah." So it felt like he was giving that same sentiment where he doesn't like people that are like that. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what else y'all wanted the man to do. I feel like he was doing what a lot of, artists that were socially involved in a way or bringing light to situations. He just made the music. He stood for something. He stood on that shit, and it was a consistent theme throughout his entire career.
Steppers moving extra on songs, faking rep. Here, Cole calls out fake activists, accusing them of using social justice themes for profit, and many fans saw this as another shot at Kendrick. He then refers to studio steppers, which many believe is a nod to Kendrick's album title, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And then the gloves fully came off. Cole released First Person Shooter in October 2023, where he took direct shots at Kendrick. I'm naming the album The Fall Off. It's pretty ironic cause ain't no fall off for me. Love when they argued the hardest MC. Is it K. Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big three like we started the league, but right now I feel like Muhammad Ali. Hate how the game got away from the bars, this stuff like a prison escape. Everybody steppers, well, forget it. Then everybody breakfast and I'm about to clear up my plate.
Yeah, this is the part people forget. They're like, oh, he just mentioned him. He just brought him up and he was giving him his, you feel me, his credit. But he feels like he's the best. What's wrong with that? This is what's wrong with it. Everybody steppers will fuck it, then everybody breakfast and I'm about to clear up my plate. But talk your shit, Cole. I ain't gonna lie, talk it. Like it's very conflicting when I with my emotions. Like you just ate up right there, but like you feel me? And then being on the song with Drake where clearly in Drake's verse, and I said this in my reaction the first time I heard it, I said, very interesting how Cole named all three of them. And Drake was like, it's just you and Cole, or big as the what, big as the who, big as the, you feel me? Like all of that. It was subtle. It was like microaggressions almost throughout the entire fucking song. And then the Spider-Man meme is me looking at Drake. It was things over and over again. So I could see, you feel me? Somebody being like, like,
Cole was done with subliminals. He was directly responding to Kendrick's Count Me Out, shutting down any notion of his fall off. He called out Kendrick and Drake by name, claiming that he was the best of the big three, and even referenced steppers again. Fans had long suspected a brewing war between Kendrick and Cole. In October 2023, months before the feud exploded, a Reddit user even broke down all the subliminal shots, stating, "Again, I could be reaching, but whenever a rapper is repeating the same words in songs, it's for a reason. Is this a real thing, or am I just like you other that has nothing to do better with their time? Who knows? We'll see later on down the line." And they were right. Kendrick had no choice but to respond, which led to the biggest rap diss track since
oh my
Control.
God, it just makes oh my God, it just like it just really warms my heart. That was really a time. That was a time. But like it was a time.
Kendrick finally fired back with Like That, and he did not hold any punches. The track came swinging with direct shots, making it clear that he too was no longer interested in subliminals anymore. Forget sneak dissing, first person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches. Forget the big 3, it's just big me. What? I'm really like that, and your best work is a light pack. Prince outlived Mike Jack. For all your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these 9s, he gon' see Pet Cemetery. This was not just a diss. This was a full-scale diss. Any illusion that Kendrick saw Drake, or especially Cole, as equals. He dismissed their legacies outright, calling Cole's best work a light pack, suggesting that it never truly held weight. Fans were shocked, but the response from Cole was even more surprising. For years, Kendrick and Cole had kept their distance. The last time they were even on the same song was 2020's Revenge of the Dreamers.
They want some attention. It come with extension. My dog said, say the word. He fired sometimes out. I mean, most of the time he fired. He fired. It is what it is. But it's just like, damn. Like, I felt so conflicted. I was like, shit sound kind of cool. It won't hard hitting, to be honest. Like, the disses were not good in the song. I don't think so. It sonically was pleasing though. Like, he brought up some stuff. It did seem like little jabs, like, okay, you really want to do this? Like, but I don't really know what he would like really say about Kendrick. Anyways, but yeah, on that song with everybody, the baby, J. Cole was a Jid and Loot, where Kendrick did the hook.
I woke up for some money, hey, little bitch. Too many ops in here. Tell me who you with, hey.
Kendrick had an uncredited feature on Under the Sun. Since then, they had operated in entirely separate lanes, barely acknowledging each other. But in March 2024, as Cole hosted his annual Dreamville Festival, he decided to respond. Like other years, Cole dropped a surprise project ahead of the festival. In 2022, it was D-Day with Dreamville. In 2024, it was a solo tape called Might Delete Later, featuring the track 7 Minute Drill. The song was named after a writing exercise Cole used to sharpen his pen, where he would write verses in just 7 minutes.
Okay,
But 7 Minute Drill wasn't just a lyrical exercise. It was a straight up Kendrick diss. He dropped lines like, he's still doing shows but fell off like The Simpsons.
Which is
Your first stuff was
stupid. Like, shut the fuck up. That's what I was talking about. Like, the shit didn't make any sense. Okay? It might sound good. It didn't make sense. He fell off. How?
sick. Your last album was tragic. Your second album put people to sleep, but they gassed it.
And then don't ever, because I know you're not talking about Good Kid, Mad City. So I'm pretty sure he was talking about To Pimp a Butterfly, but even that, I went through afterwards. Literally listened to Pimp a Butterfly from start to finish, and I was like, "What is he talking about? What is he talking about?"
Massive, and that was your prime. Cole outright mocked Kendrick's discography, suggesting that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a flop. To Pimp a Butterfly was over.
Still was not a flop. I don't know why y'all think that, but it still sold like 300,000 copies or something. Like, I guess compared to Damn, yeah, Damn sold like 600,000, but
He continues spitting, it's a cold world,
he was
keep the
wrong.
heat under your seat. I got a phone call that say that somebody's dissing. You want some attention, it come with extensions. Here, Cole implied that Kendrick was clout chasing, that his shots were less about competition and more about grabbing headlines, a claim Drake had also made a decade earlier after Control. The diss was bold and unexpected, since J. Cole was finally
and I
recognizing the
also
disrespect.
don't agree with that. And I'm sorry, I'm pausing because I want to talk about the damn video. That's what the reaction is. I feel like rap was getting to a like just not a great place, to be honest. Like, and I feel like he wanted to shake it up. He was like, all right, this ain't. Well, we not doing this. We gotta have some. I feel like he don't like the kumbaya, and he mentioned that in Reincarnated, where it was like God talking to him about saying like, oh, but he loves war, and he was like, no, I don't. Oh, yes, you do. I feel like that he just likes when it's like sport, like not everybody all friendly and.
On stage, he told the audience he was removing the song from streaming platforms. He apologized to Kendrick, saying that he regretted the diss and felt bad for going at him. Fans were stunned. Why would Cole take back a response after being publicly disrespected first? As speculation ran wild, a report surfaced from All Hip Hop, revealing that something may have happened behind the scenes. According to sources, Schoolboy Q, one of Kendrick's closest collaborators and fellow TDE signee, allegedly had a conversation with J. Cole backstage at Dreamville Fest. The details of the conversation were unclear, but some insiders suggest that Q may have warned Cole about continuing the beef. TDE's Punch then added more fuel to the fire with an ominous tweet, seemingly confirming that something deeper was at play. With that,
Wait, Cole is a very genuine guy. I respect it. We often give in to external pressures and outside influences and act out of our own character. It's rare to have enough heart to make the correction. It didn't align with him, so he fixed it in the same manner he engaged. Salute. I mean, facts. You feel me? I had my opinions, but a mature side of me is like, yes. The petty, toxic side was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, what? Come on, let's do it. Because I feel like also then I was like, bro, are we not even gonna get a bit? Like, it just felt like it was falling apart. Yeah, but it pulled through. Definitely pulled through the way it should have. You feel me?
added more fuel to the fire with an ominous tweet, seemingly confirming that something deeper was at play. With that, Cole was out of the battle, once again taking his seat below Kendrick Lamar in hip-hop. The public perception of Cole as he bowed out was hysterical, with everyone seemingly clowning him online. However, DJ Academics was probably the loudest critic and went on a rant on a stream throwing shade at Cole for backing down.
How the you apologizing to an who gotta jump to get on the monkey bars at the
How tall is DJ Academics? He don't look tall. We doing some digging. 5'8". You know, I'm not gonna say you like short. I'm 5'8" though. So, and you know, motherfuckers be lying. He looked little. I just thought it was funny that he took the short route. But okay.
playground. This not the hip hop I like. Get Kendrick, get this J. Cole on out of here, man.
I hope he mentions
While the beef-
the GNX diss towards Cole.
Primarily a war between Kendrick and Drake, J. Cole's name kept getting dragged into the mix, not as a contender, but as an afterthought. Drake
By
was
both
the
of
first to
them.
use Cole as collateral damage, casually dismissing both Kendrick and Cole in push-ups. Then in Family Matters, he took it a step further, painting Cole as someone who was stressed over the beef while he himself remained unbothered. This was the underlying narrative that took shape. While Cole had publicly backed away from the battle, Kendrick and Drake refused to let him off the hook. Instead, they used his withdrawal as proof of their superiority. Basically, Cole's decision to back down was perceived not just as an attempt to keep the peace, but as an admission that he couldn't keep up. And of course,
one thing I will say though that like other people said a lot is that Cole apologizing like gave Drake the number 2 spot, and that didn't happen in my head. Like, I mean, I guess competitive. Well, now it doesn't matter. We're suing mofos, but that just didn't happen. Uh, J. Cole is a better rapper than Drake. It just is. I don't care if he apologized and went up there and cried. Like the fuck that's just not realistic. Come on, y'all.
it clear that in his eyes, there
I've
was
heard
no
he my
big
real
three.
friends.
Kendrick wasn't just responding to Drake, he was reinforcing the message that he had been sending to Cole for years. There was no friendly rivalry, no mutual admiration. In Kendrick's world, he was the only one that mattered. Then came Not Like Us, the final nail in the coffin. Even in a track aimed squarely at Drake, Kendrick made sure to get one last jab at Cole. Did Cole foul? I don't know why you still pretending. This was not just disrespect, this was humiliation. Kendrick was not just clowning Cole, he was using him as an example. The underlying message? Cole already knew his place. Why do you think you stand a chance?
Wait, is he interpreting that as in he like is hip hop madness interpreting that Kendrick did Cole foul and we're pretending that that didn't happen? That's the first interpretation I've heard like that, because I was assuming that he was saying Drake did something to Cole and he's pretending it was a rebuttal to Family Matters, because Family Matters, Kendrick, Drake said something like he made like a Michael Jackson reference and saying that Jermaine is his brother, but he wanted to keep him out of the light. Um, so I thought that was the rebuttal to like, oh, you saying I'm doing something, but really you did this shit to him, and why we pretending that that didn't happen? I thought that was what he meant.
It's a devastating rhetorical move, and one that simultaneously buried Cole while applying pressure on Drake. Kendrick's treatment of Cole throughout the beef was not just about competition, it was a reflection of how he had viewed him for years. And unlike Kendrick and Drake, Cole is very different. He's always been seen as a down-to-earth person with a minimalist lifestyle. He's been spotted biking through New York City alone and even attempting a pro basketball career, taking a break from rap. These decisions reflect his disinterest in playing the industry game at the same level as his peers, and Kendrick doesn't seem to respect the decision. But Kendrick's dismissal of Cole goes back much further than this battle. From their earliest interactions, like Kendrick trying to take Cole's spot on the 2010 XXL freshman cover, to the way he referenced him in his diss track, to their collab ultimately not coming to fruition due to Kendrick's apparent disinterest, through to Cole teaming up with his arch nemesis in Drake. Kendrick has always seen.
It's crazy. But also he didn't mention it, but there was on Whacked Out Murals, there was some jabs at Cole. Definitely. Fuck apologizing. I want to see y'all geeked up. Don't acknowledge me, then maybe we could say it's fair. If he didn't say shit, then we could say okay. But some took it to the net and I'ma take it there. All right, I'm tweaked. An hour? What? What the fuck? Anyways, I don't know. I don't even want to say nothing because an hour is wild. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. The fuck.